watching NewsX World. Let's take a look at some of the top stories. Ukraine says it's open to direct talks but wants Russia to submit peace terms first as deadly strikes continue. Trump warns Putin has 2 weeks to show he's serious or face a different response. Hungry crowds break into a UN food warehouse in central Gaza with 2 reported dead and several injured as aid shortages spark desperation. The WFP warns conditions have spiraled out of control amid blockades, looting and a deepening humanitarian collapse. Manila says Beijing has no right to object to its lawful operations in the South China Sea, rejecting China's claims of sovereignty over the Spratly Islands. Tensions flare as both nations trade sharp words over maritime rights. After a US court blocks most of Trump's sweeping tariff, China calls on Washington to fully cancel the wrongful measures. Beijing says the move would reflect global and domestic opposition to unilateral trade actions. Elon Musk steps down as a special government employee after helping lead Trump's push to shrink federal bureaucracy. He thanks Trump for the chance to reduce wasteful spending and says the Doge mission will continue. South Koreans turn out in record numbers for early voting ahead of next week's snap presidential election. Frontrunner Lee Jae-myung casts his ballot as the nation seeks stability after Yoon Suk-yeol's failed martial law attempt. Israel announces plans for 22 new settlements in the occupied West Bank, igniting global criticism amid escalating tensions over the war in Gaza. The move risks further isolation on the world stage. Sudan's health ministry says a deadly cholera outbreak has claimed 70 lives in just 2 days in the capital. The city struggles to contain the spread amid ongoing conflict and collapsing health services. Now our top story today. In a major development on the Russia-Ukraine war, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has announced that Moscow is ready for a second round of direct talks with Ukraine. The proposed date is June the 2nd, but with Istanbul again set to host. He briefed US Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Moscow's preparations for direct talks with Ukraine. Lavrov added that Russia has prepared a detailed peace memorandum addressing the root causes of the conflict. However, Russia insists the document will only be shared with Ukraine, rejecting any US or third-party mediation in the exchange. On the other hand, Kiev says it's open to negotiations but wants Moscow's peace terms in advance. Ukraine's defense minister says they're still waiting to receive Russia's proposal ahead of the scheduled meeting. Ukraine has not yet confirmed its participation in the proposed June the 2nd talks in Istanbul. This comes as Russia says it shot down 48 Ukrainian drones overnight. With air defenses intercepted UAVs across 7 regions, including Moscow. 3 drones targeted the capital, forcing temporary airport closures. No casualties were reported, however. Debris fell near homes in Moscow. Flight restrictions in Vnukovo and Kaluga airports have now been lifted. We move over to the Middle East now, where Israeli air